Another video. Decided to do a upload tonight. A little bit of a chat. Going to actually crack open one here from Braxton Labs, and this is their Lokelani Tiki, which you may have seen me drink a couple of these previously. I did have. This is the last of a 4-pack, but this is going to be a look at the beer finally. Here on a review that I had not done yet, and this is from one of our local breweries, 5% ABV, a nice Berliner Weiss. Shout out to Erie, what is going on? Cheers, my friend. Good to see you this Saturday evening. I've actually been getting caught up on stuff. So the last couple days, I hadn't done a live stream since Thursday night when we did the Beer Flow show. Ended up running late on some stuff yesterday, so we didn't do the Friday Fun Day, and then got busy today. But I am back here now, so hopefully you guys will enjoy this video. And as always, make sure you chime in. But this is a Berliner Weiss style ale with coconut, strawberry puree, tangerine puree, and rose petals. It is part of their fruited sour series. So it's a nice pint-sized can, as I mentioned, 5% ABV. The logo of the brewery right there, Braxton Labs, which is pretty much a small batch processing of Braxton Brewing. They do a lot of their specialty brews out of this. And there you see the independent symbol as well. So got to support those independent, local, if they're local to you as well. Still knock out some of the other bigger beers, but with the way things are right now, showing support for your local breweries, I know is well appreciated. Erie said you slept most of the day and ate. Well, I think a lot of people have been doing that recently under the times. I actually slept weird last night, so I didn't really get a full night's sleep, but it was like slept less than I usually like to do on the weekend, but that's all right. It just happens. I know people that, have a little bit of the insomnia. I don't have that. I just didn't get enough hours in, so to speak. So for this, I'm actually going to use a glass that's called a Stange glass, or Stange. I might be stretched out a little bit there. And this is one that's actually used a lot of times for Kolsch's, the kind of tall cylindrical type style of the glass. Is ideal for that style, but I've also found it to be nicely done for sours as well. But here you have a nice size head on this one. Usually with sours, they dissipate rather quickly. This one is breaking down, but definitely at a slower pace. But if you take a look there, lots of lively carbonation in play, lots of good bubble action, lots of streaming action there. And so this has a little bit of that carbonation fizz to it. But pretty much a chill haze on it, but a nice golden yellow straw color. Head is pretty much dead on white. Wow, still has a nice aroma coming out. Get a nice feel of the tartness of the beer. You definitely pick up the flavors in the background. You're picking up some of that strawberry, very berry-like. Definitely tell it's a sour. Definitely has that quality to it. Almost has like a... I think in my mind, I was going to say like a seawater type of pill, which is weird because if you had a Goza, which is another sour style, you would expect that because you'd expect some of that saltiness on the background. But very close to that style. But a nice floral bouquet of the aromas that come out. Now you can see the head is down to just about a quarter finger. And I get more of that tangerine coming into play now as well. Shout out to Ron. Cheers. What is going on, my friend? And as well, Eric. And then what is happening, Jason? Cheers. Taste-wise, has that nice puckering effect to it. You definitely pick up some of the fruitiness of the beer in there. taste-wise, you get more of the coconut. You're not getting it really on the nose, but it does come through nice in the flavor. A good amount of it, actually. I feel a little bit of a astringency in the mouth, a little bit of acidity in the taste. Definitely a mouth puckering type beer. Not too overly done on the finish, which is nice. A lot of sour beers on the back end can be a little strong for some people, especially if they're getting into them. This one doesn't have too much of a bite, which is nice. Jason asked, how is a sour beer made? Well, sour beer is an ale for these type of styles, and it pretty much follows the same process along those lines, but you're really just dealing with the different ingredients that you're using for the sour ale. A lot of times you're putting a lot of more fruit in there to get a fruity feel, as most sours have a fruitiness to them. Depending on the brewery, some breweries like to do a little bit more of an open fermentation, which is pretty much letting nature take its course, so to speak, where they have a little bit of an opening where it's not all fully covered like you will with most beers, because you want the infection to stay out of it. Those get into more of the wild type styles, but I have seen some sours do that. But the process, you know, you're still following. I have never brewed a sour beer, so just knowing it's an ale and knowing how you brew ales, you're just kind of changing some stuff up, just like you would for any type of style. Fried cod fillets with Brussels sprouts tonight. I'm not a big Brussels sprouts person now. Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cauliflower, those are like vegetables I never got into. Eric, who you know from the Beer Flow show and from his channel, Eric Brenner, he had a thing on Facebook. He had a steak with broccoli and something, but like the whole broccoli thing, just broccoli and rice, and the whole broccoli thing just turns me off. I'm not that kind of vegetable guy. I like spinach, I like carrots, I like peas, I like corn. I do like squash, but yeah, those other ones, I'm just not a fan of them. But I do like a good cod fillet. You could have did a fried cod fillet with some fries and had a little fish and chips for tonight. I do like some good fish and chips. Throw some cheese on them things. LOL, you will love all three. No, I can't. I mean, actually, from the time I started eating broccoli to the last time I had it, whenever I ate broccoli, it made me puke. It just makes me throw up automatically. It's the taste on my taste buds, it was like kind of a reaction to it, I guess, or something, but I can never keep broccoli down. Cauliflower might be something a little bit better. Maybe I might be able to get through Brussels sprouts. I know some people tell me like roasted Brussels sprouts are pretty good, but haven't tried to do that in a while. But I know broccoli is like the worst. So even the smell of it like starts to turn my stomach a little bit there. So, which one day at work we had a guy who left a bag of microwaved broccoli in the office, and people were not happy with that person. It just like all through the office, like the afternoon, it smelled just like burnt, I guess, broccoli or whatever. Like just that smell permeating. Oh, it was bad. I would have rather had tuna left in there than a broccoli. New York strip for dinner, very nice. I thought about getting some steaks today. We actually did our food order rather than going to the store, you know, with the whole Corona stuff. So we kind of had Kroger here deliver it, which isn't really bad for $10, except if they don't find your stuff, they, you know, you can tell them to replace it with something else. So they couldn't find a couple things, they were sold out, and a couple things they did replace. I like wanted to get some pancakes, and they gave me some mini pancakes, like these kids mini pancakes. I'm like, really? You subbed this out for this? So, but had that delivered. But I thought about getting steak, but I think tomorrow I'm probably gonna do tacos or something. Let's see, and I want to wash it down with the hams. Hams is a good washing down beer for sure. Nothing wrong with that. Make some cauliflower fried rice. I just don't see it. I'm going to have fried bologna before I have cauliflower, I believe. What's up, homie? Alan Eclectic Beers in the house. Cheers, my friend. When you know it, the wife is already in here and didn't know you were live. Yeah, I guess she could have told you, but she didn't, right? Yeah, I just went on live a little bit ago. I was talking about the Lokelani Tiki sour earlier. This is from Braxton Labs here in Cincinnati, one of our local breweries. Berliner Weiss style ale with coconut, strawberry puree, tangerine puree, and rose petals. And it's got a nice little quality to it. Definitely nice. She knows I'm playing some Magic Arena. Blake, cheers. Good to see you back on, my friend. Hopefully everything is resettled or getting resettled back in your world there. I know you guys are dealing with that stuff in Arkansas and the storms, and hopefully you're back up. Hopefully Jeremy's back up here shortly as well too. Main Butcher reopened and headed on down today, and well, that's good. Show some local love getting out to the butcher, and I'm sure he was happy to reopen his business. And I haven't been to like an actual butcher in years. We have a couple of our markets around here where we can do that, but it's just been a while. So I always like going to the butcher. I feel like you get a pretty good cut of meat. And now in our Kroger, we actually have a meat area where they kind of cut to order and all kind of stuff, but it's not like going to the butcher. Here he said, well, you get notifications, Alan. Blake. Gilbert says, cheers, Blake, as well. I got notifications, but I have two screens with a game on the main screen. Hey, what's going on, Beer Hound? How you doing, my friend out there in OC? Hopefully you're doing well out there. It's been a while since I think we've actually chatted, so hopefully things are going good. You guys are definitely going through the stuff there with the Corona stuff. I always see like your governor every few days talking about stuff on the press conference that he puts out. It sounds like a personal problem, Bear. Beard. There's Erie throwing it at you. I know, but this was a spur of the moment. It wasn't a planned event to go live tonight. I was just here, like, I haven't gone live for a bit. Let me crack open a beer, talk about a little bit, see how everybody's doing out here. And it's just been a busy couple of days lately, and finally had a spare minutes or so. 2 rooms over, so you're just being a butt. So far away, but yet so close. Can you shut it? You're distracting from watching Rock. Oh, that's funny. Oh, nice. You got the Lagunitas Waldo's Ale. I have not been able to find it here. And I would say over the last 3 or 4 years, I've only found it once when they brought it out. I mean, when it hits here, it goes real quick, and not all the stores get a good amount of it in. So I'll have to check out your look at it there. I know everybody's been enjoying it that I've seen. It's just we haven't gotten any here, or I've been able to see any. Some of our stores, you have to order online. One of our stores, the party stores, you can actually go in, but you can only go in as an individual. You can't go in as a couple or any group. And it's all social distancing, when you go in and stuff like that, which is fine, but it's kind of weird. So I went to the store yesterday to pick up some beer. I didn't do an unboxing on it, but the wife wanted some beer, so I got her like some Harps lager because she likes lagers more, and got her some of those margarita pouch drinks so she would have some of those, and decided to get some other brews. And I got a 6-pack of the Oberon because the Oberon's out now from Bell's, which is my favorite pale wheat ale. I tried to get a 4-pack. They were out of the 4-pack, so we subbed it for a 6. And then I got some more Avery brews when I was there. They had like some more of the Nuttiest Professor, which I really liked. And I picked up their Tequila Cerbis, I believe, from Avery. And then I picked up a couple of their apricot sours that I'll be sharing as well. And then I'm trying to think if I got something else. Oh, I got one of the High Wires IPAs too. So I'll be doing some videos on that stuff. But it was kind of weird because I got there thinking I would be able to go in. And so they come to your car and they ask, did you order in, or did you just, driving up to go in? I was like, well, I was going to go in and see what you guys actually had, and they're like, they weren't letting anybody in because of that, so they were going in and getting orders for people and stuff like that. So I had to sit there in the parking lot, go online, see what I wanted, let the guy know, and he went in and got it and stuff. Which, all in all, it was fine. It was just different. It was weird. It's that whole new normal type thing right now, where it's like, you pretty much went in there and placed your order like you were at Sonic, and then they brought out your stuff for you. So it was an interesting experience. Beer said it's my favorite. Only 12 days, only $12 for a 6 pack. Yeah, it's a good deal for what you get for that as well. And that's a good thing about Lagunitas. They don't really hit you too hard on the price. Their pricing is usually pretty solid. You're getting a great value for what you pay for what they're putting out. So that is always something awesome. I just saw that. I was thinking I need to go to Party Source now this weekend because they came out with their undercover investigation shutdown, which I was waiting for it to come out this year. So that was released, and I think it's like a 6-pack of that is like $9.59 or something. But that's probably one of my favorites from them as well. So hopefully I'll get a chance to pick that up. Gilbert's having a Timmermans, Lambiscus Blanche, got a few and already on the second. Nice. So that's going down smooth. There's a nice little sour there too. I actually need to do a review on some Timmermans. I've never done a Timmermans review on the channel, so I need to get some of those and just do some straight reviews. So you get your wife Buzzballs chocolate. I never heard of Choc Teas Buzzballs. Interesting. I didn't. Yeah, if I went in the store, next time I can go into a store, I'll have to look for those or see if we have them. So they're pretty tasty. I take it. Hey, what's happening, Joe? Cheers to you, my friend. And just got a 12-pack of Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. Really good deal. Nice. Sierra Nevada is another one that doesn't really hit you too hard on pricing for beers as well. I think a 12-pack here of Sierra Nevada Pale Ale probably at our like Kroger would be like maybe $14 or $15, but some of the other stores you may get around 12 or so, depending. But you never go wrong with the classic like Sierra Nevada. It's nice. It's for me a throwback to that style. And it's nice, it's nice to go back to that. It's kind of like going back and sitting in one of the old school Cadillacs or something. It just has a nice, comfortable feel to it that you can depend on it being there for you. So, cheers to that. And Beer House said that was his first craft beer, was Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. Yeah, I was on when I had Eric on the show earlier this week from Lord Hobo. We were talking about our first craft beers, and mine was actually Flower Power from Ithaca. Well, I say it was my first one that turned me on more to craft beer, as far as it being IPA. But it might have been my first craft beer, really. Now I think about it, as far as it, I guess you could say I had Sam Adams before that, but was not really thinking about Sam Adams as much because you weren't really talking about craft beer back then as much in the 90s. It was just, the lager, but I guess Sam Adams might have been technically my first craft beer when I had the Boston Lager back in the early to mid 90s. But Blake says, sorry, my net dropped. Cheers, everyone. It's all good, brother. It's glad to see you're actually getting us on the internet now. My mommy likes Sierra Nevada, lol. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Oh, they fixed everything except your net, Blake. Well, it's Arkansas, so it's back to normal, right? So. Oh, yeah. But anybody else drinking on anything, too, out there that hasn't mentioned what they're actually tasting right now? Hop Stupid was my first. Hop Stupid's a good one from Lagunitas. That's a nice tasty one. I actually saw a bottle of that online as well, but I didn't pick up any of it. But that's a good one. No V&W tonight? What's V&W? Some coffee. RC and Coke. Well, there you go. That'll work. I'm trying to think what the V and W is. Ah. Oh man, this just kind of slipped my mind there. Yeah, you usually are your vodka and water. I don't know what I was just like struggling there for some reason. Oh yeah. But anybody got anything interesting they did this Saturday? Is everybody kind of breaking out of routines at all? Or you guys finding new stuff you're doing with the whole coronavirus thing happening? Some states may be up and going somewhat. They're saying maybe as early as Monday, possibly trying to reopen some stuff. I saw in Florida that they, I guess in it was Jacksonville, they opened the beach up partially, like the morning 8 to 11, and then 5 to 8 or something at night. That's kind of interesting. Oscar Blues Canna Bliss Double Hazy on standby. I don't think I've ever reviewed the Canna Bliss. I need to do some more Oscar Blues. When the lights go out, social distancing doesn't matter anymore. That's when you go bumping at night, right? Yeah, Alan said, cheers to Beer Hound, and Blake says, EB, sup, bro, and Alan also said, good to see you too, Blake. Yeah, it's great to have Blake back. It's been a while, and, it's been almost a week almost, it seems. Full-time in the Twilight Zone lately, right? The world has become like a Twilight Zone. Yeah, it's somewhat interesting. For me, it was kind of like, so you guys know, I used to work from home anyway, so I was like pre-social distancing, but outside of the work hours, just kind of getting used to that. Erie said boat res open today. Tons of people were happy. Yeah, they were showing video on some of the states where they were doing stuff, and like people weren't social distancing. Like some of the protesters, they weren't social distancing as well. But it's like, we'll see. I guess they're going to test it, and if something happens, it'll be on those people, I guess. Clutzy, how you do, brother? Yes, because I got to be the champion for a week. Yeah, you did get to be the champion for a week. That's right. I'm back at work and did normal things, still social distancing. Yeah. Jason said Tennessee's locked down till the end of the month, no school until next year. Yeah. It's they were wondering up here what they're gonna do, if they're gonna have like fall sessions and stuff like that. More so I think it's for the colleges, they're wondering what to do, because for the younger kids it's kind of like it got them going into the online stuff now and everything, but I don't know how that would do if the schools were closed and parents were able to go back to work. The parents aren't there with the kids to make sure stuff gets done. Erie, that is gimmick infringement. Oh, she was running with Le Champion quite a bit there. Oh, she held your crown proudly, Blake. So she did good with it. But I was thinking about maybe doing a stream later on as well. I got to reach out to Todd and Shannon. They got another thing they were thinking about doing for a beer game night, so I got to see if they might want to do that tonight. But if you guys are around later and you want to chime in on that fun, that could be something to do as well, as I get more stuff rolling back here on the channel. Kind of got all the tax stuff out of the way. That's kind of was part of my time the last couple days, even though I didn't need to turn them in as of yet because we got the extension. I just wanted them done and out the way. Blake said check my Facebook. Then stretch over. Let's see. Oh, cool. Yeah, that'll work. I can definitely do that. Yeah, I'm in, Blake, dog. Yeah, put it in there, and we'll definitely hook up and do something there. So I am down. Speaking of down, this beer's about down. And I always tell people, if you ever get to the Cincinnati area, or you see Braxton, to definitely check out their beers if you're a beer fan. This one is pretty decent. Like I said, overall nice, tart, fruited sour. They did a fine job on it. So it's only 5% ABV, so you can easily enjoy that after, cutting the grass or doing some stuff like that around the house as the weather is breaking here. So, ooh, I've got that one, Gilbert. Actually, I haven't done a review on it yet, but it's in the cooler and it's on deck, so to speak, to come up at some point. The Boulevard Rye. Nice. Blake said, good job here. Yeah, she represented well. So she was an alternate Le Champion, rocking your crown for you. Damn good. Boulevard does some really good stuff. It's good, and I like checking out the things they got. It's funny because you get their distribution up there as well. I know some people here in the States aren't able to get their distribution as much, so it's kind of interesting that you are, which is all good. It's all good, all gravy. Oh. But that being said, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up, and then in a bit here, if you guys don't have Blake TV down, make sure you get Blake TV marked. I'm going to jump over to his stream here at 9 o'clock, so 25 minutes, and then see how that all goes, and then we'll go from there. And then maybe later on come back and do something here for a late night thing if I connect here with Todd and Shannon. They want to do the game. They had some game called, I think it's 30th Minds or something. So that could be an interesting stream too. That's definitely for the after hours session. But thanks for everybody that tuned in. I'm going to be actually just cutting some videos probably tomorrow to get uploaded that won't be live streams, so I can get those in a rotation. My main goal right now is to I gotta get my schedule here, like Monday through Friday, probably around 9:05 Eastern, because we do the Beer Flow show at 9:15, is to maybe do a live stream at 9:05 Eastern, and then on Saturday and Sunday, try to do it around 3 o'clock, so earlier in the day, especially for my buddies over there in the UK and across the pond, so they can actually be up and see some stuff, because they like to join in as well. So that's my goal, and then I'm gonna have some uploads that'll come out various times during the course of the day, probably around 2 o'clock during the week, and then I might drop a couple on the weekend, like 9 o'clock on Saturday or Sunday. But that being said, thanks for tuning in. Check out Blake TV. We're going to be live on his stream here at 9 o'clock, and then we'll go from there. Enjoy, and I hope to see you soon. Cheers, everybody.